Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I did not do a stream on last Friday. I tried, and our internet was really giving some issues. So I think I started a stream and I got a little bit into it, but it just um, was not helping. So I ended up having to delete it because the video it was not very good quality. So the stream that I did have, I went ahead and just removed the video. I did have a guest on. My hubby had the day off, so we tried to um, do a stream together, but it just did not work out with the internet for some reason. So don't have one from Friday, but I figured I'd get on here and do a stream. I'm a little late. We went to a rally Sunday and just did a lot of walking, and I was just so worn out by the time we got home. I ended up just making something to eat real quick and then just headed to bed. It was just an exhausting day, and I ended up waking up a little later today. Got a few things done and did some Bible study and meditating this morning. So getting on here a little bit late, but that's okay. I am on Fallout today. I wanted to go on. I haven't been on Fallout for a little bit. Um, I just wanted to come on and check on my camps, and then maybe do a couple of things. I started to miss Fallout, and figured, oh, I'll get on here for a little bit. If anything, I can always switch to Fortnite. We could do a match. Um, so I'm gonna go on here. I'm gonna check and see um, on the best build. 19 so far on this one. Not too bad. This is like, it's not my absolute favorite camp, but it is one of my favorites. I really like it. Um, I think I've done a tour on one of my other videos about the camps that I have, but this one here is put together. It just kind of came together of sorts. I didn't really um, plan it out or anything. I just started building, and it just really just came together. Turned out really nice. There's my soundstage entrance, my little seating corner, the cooking stove. I've got this here for people. I'm a herbivore in this game, so that doesn't really do much for me. I have it just for the dailies, usually. I still don't have Fallout First. I didn't really want to get that back because I don't foresee myself playing this very much. And then this is the shop. I use these doors because it seemed fitting. Got some crates and stuff, oil, but not oil, hot water. Um, and this right here is Woman of the Wasteland, part of that group, but just a bunch of ladies that are share a love of Fallout. They have also another group, I think, for other games as well. Um, if if you're a girl, woman, you know the trials of being on a game and finding people to play with who actually respect you. Um, Not all the guys are like that. There's guys on here that are awesome. I've met quite a few of them, but it's few and far between, unfortunately. There's some who just don't know how to respect a woman. Like as soon as they hear your um, your voice, as soon as they hear your voice, it's just like all over. Okay, I've got 25,000. Um, I've been harassed a time or two, and even my hubby, he was in with me at one point, and he was like extremely disregarded and disrespected. Um, so it is the world that we live in, unfortunately. Um, I guess I wanted to try a caravan, so I'm gonna hop into it, just a random team. We'll do this one. And then yeah, I am not really. I'm level 3 on the scoreboard. It's been going on for a while. I have no desire to really hop on here all that much. I'm waiting for more content. The content that they did add, which is the caravans, just are not a small frog. Like I don't really understand the caravan aspect of it. Um, it's not that intriguing to me. I'm gonna go ahead and join the caravan. Where's the drop off though? See, I've been told that the caravans have been really boring. And my hubby did one and all he got was like a stem pack and some water. They didn't get anything else. So, um, yeah, I don't really think that that's gonna be good. But I'll join and just see what it looks like. Give it a chance, you know. 'Cause I haven't really been on since they did the update. I came on, look at the scoreboard, and made the determination that it wasn't really worth it to spend all my time grinding something that I wasn't going to want anything of. So I kind of left Fallout and tried to get some other games. There's another game that I just downloaded that I haven't tried yet. I didn't want to stream it because I wanted to kind of get a feel for it first. So, oh, they're there. We'll help this guy out. I don't know what. Defend the Brahmin. My other king's out here. I probably do need to switch out my weapons and put my Holy Fire on. It's been severely nerfed, so it doesn't do as much damage. Um, it's really unfortunate. But they did take back, they brought back some weapons that a lot of people wanted back. The explosive energy weapons but they reduce the damage that they do. Look at this. I could take this down before the nerf. I would be able to take that down maybe with 4 shots, but yeah, not so much now. And we know where the drop off is. So no clue where this guy's going. Yeah, I've never done one of the caravans before. So I'm pretty sure this person can handle it by themselves. When my hubby did it, they're like, he said that they threw pretty much like the entire enemy list that we have on in this game all at once, like Mirelurks, bugs, dogs, etc. You know, Yogwais and such, like everything at once. Those are the Blue Devil and the Ugwa, a couple of the big enemies too. So I'm kind of was expecting that, but I really don't see much of anything. It's a rat roach. Another rat roach. Yeah. So far so good, I guess. So far so good. I think this is like in the world. Blood bugs. I guess you had to destroy that with a grenade. Let's go, let's go. I don't want to pick anything up because of the... Oh, that's interesting. I've never seen strength on a pistol before. Melee weapons, yes, but not on a pistol. I'm like really out of the loop. I used to know a lot about the modding and stuff. Now I'm just like completely out in the dark with the new modding. The weapons that I have, I'm really content with, so I'm not really jumping on board to hurry the mods. But it has to be pretty nice to be able to either buy the mod or to scrap legendary and get what you want, and that way you can build your own like 3-star. It is like you can't trade the weapon. Like you can make yourself this amazing role, and it will be like, I don't think anything's overpowered anymore, but it will be, something that can get you through just about anything. But the only thing is those weapons, that once you mod them with those mods, they are player locked, so you can't do anything with them at that point. But there's been people who have been trading the mods themselves, so they do all the work and trade for the mods. Because there's a lot of us who just don't. There's the thrashers, giant turkeys. There's a lot of us who just don't have that good RNG when it comes to games. So, yeah, I have horrible luck. I went through my entire inventory. Oh, there you are. I went through my entire list and I had a bunch of sword legendaries. And I had... I can't see shit. I can't see. There we go. Oh my. There's another one. Alright, I think that's it. Complete. See, yeah, I got 556 in stems. So, I mean, I got nothing. That is worth my time on the bullets that I really wasted in the time. So, go through, collect what I can. I don't have anything to... I have nothing to show for it. You're supposed to be able to get gear, I guess, or supplies when you do these, but I don't know if you have to register it first. Like I said, I'm really out of the loop when it comes to Fallout. I just, I'm not really familiar with it anymore. So, well, that was interesting. I'll come over here and see what this stuff is. Just a little camp. Nothing too crazy. Oh, the death claw disappeared. Well, shoot. Oh, interesting. The death claw just like disappeared. Maybe he fell. No, he didn't. I didn't fall through. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess that's it. I was gonna loot the death claw, but we will leave that. We can go to Radiation Rumble, I guess. It's just, let's take a look at these weeklies and dailies. not much. I don't really think I have anything on the board that I can get. I got 50 tickets. I don't have Fallout First, so I can't get any of these, which is fine. Um, yeah, there's just like, I think the only thing I'd be able to really want to get, um, like the barn looks okay, honestly, but it's just a barn, you know. I don't think there's any living quarters inside because it would have shown. Tractors, Fallout First, all these right here for Fallout First, I'm just not interested in because I'd have to pay for Fallout First to get it. Caps, I'm not interested in because caps I can get pretty easily. So the only thing I would be able to really get would be this one. The generator would have been nice to have to be in a farm, but they made that a Fallout First exclusive. Um, and I was told that people were thinking, like a lot of the people that know me, um, if I would want any of the Raider stuff because it would tie into how you do like your Raider camps and stuff. And I was like, no, um, not really interested. All these are just reskins. We have everything already. Everything that's in here, I already have. I don't, I don't need anymore. Um, just because it looks like a different variation, it just doesn't fit, you know, what I want. But yeah, there's nothing on here that really spooks to me. They do have the snow globe display, but it's just I don't like the way it looks. It is too bulky. That's kind of cute, but brewing vat, Fallout First again. Um, I think that was Fallout First too. No, okay. But yeah, there's just not too much that I've been wanting. If the backpack displays, again, I really don't have a lot of backpacks. You have to create those. This right here would have been something that would have been pretty cool because if you're going for that like that that wasteland feel, those I think would be perfect. But they made it a Fallout First exclusive, and again, I'm not gonna pay for Fallout First. And I really don't want to get to 92 just to get the building kit. I don't have any need to play Fallout that long. Someone also said that I'd want this, but this right here is also a reskin of something that we already have, the lodge. Then they have the rear first wagon, which this right here does look pretty cool, but it's like, it's just a decorative piece. Um, I was kind of interested in these though, the walkways. I mean, those look kind of, interesting. But the one thing that I really wanted were these here. But again, I don't want to reach level 100 just to get them. And I would have to go through a lot of these things. So I weighed the things. I was like, okay, it's not worth it. Just the ones that I wanted to get, like the pillar display here. It would have been nice if the items that we could display are like the ones that we want to display, but it's not. It's just really tight, and there's nothing that I want to display on that I could display, you know. And then this right here is the last page. Um, where you have to get over 150. So, um, I have a keg set already for. It's just, yeah, there's nothing. There's a telephone tower, pole. The only thing I really wanted would have been these ramps, but I didn't want to go to rank 100 just to get them. And then they're centered, right? Like this, the ramp stairs are centered again, and I want them where on Fallout 4 you could go in, in the center or on the left or right. I think that would have been great, but yeah, there's just nothing really in the season that I like. So I think what we'll do, um, Ready Russian Rumble is still going on. Let's see if there's any. Yeah, we'll just go to Rad Rumble. It's probably like gonna be over by the time I get there. But we'll go ahead and do that. this weekend. I really hope that everyone had a great weekend. Though this weekend was great here. Weather was absolutely beautiful. We spent a lot of time outside yesterday, especially when we went to the rally. Um, it was uh, it was chilly, but it was comfortable when you dressed accordingly. I wore my capris and my sweater, so I was comfortable for the entire time. It was extremely windy, so my hair ended up getting so knotted. It was bad. It was just like blowing every which way. It doesn't even say that I'm in the event yet. This is pretty much over, I think. I I don't know how long I've been level 164. Oh wow, they got every scavenger alive. They got all the ore, 4 of 4. Very interesting. With a minute left, it's impressive. Usually when we join Rad Rumble, it's we get to at least just like one level reward, one just to finish it, because it's more about the XP. But I think what they did with the game is they've nerfed the XP a lot. My damage output is nearly not as much as it used to be. Um, I have to go through my build and fix my build for sure, because they removed one of the perk cards that used to do damage to do the enemies. Ugh. It no longer helps with damage. Um, so I have to go through and fix that. There's nobody over there going to get that person. Yeah, I was gonna say, better go in there. There we go. All done. I didn't really get anything that I needed. Let's see if I can get any legendaries. Pick everything up. Nope, I don't think I did. Oh, excuse me. Just a little sleepy. I'm just so worn out from yesterday. Oh, there's the... Yeah, I have to be very careful. I put my shops back up, and, yeah, I'm gonna have to move my camp. I put my shops back online. Uh, and the weapons, there's, like, a lot of people uh, are wanting to get weapons out so then for them to scrap, because you can scrap or you can put them in the scrap machine. Scrapping them, you have a chance of either getting a plan or a mod out of it. And the plan is like the plan for the mod. So like say if you're looking for bloodied, which is the type of weapon. Like if I go to my gun here, I've got my bloody flaming chainsaw. So I've got this one here, which is a bloody explosive with less action point costs. So these here, if you're looking for um, that bloody or the explosive or the action point costs, you have a chance to either get the mod for like one of those. Either get the mod or you can get the plan to create that mod. And there's people out there who are paying, I think, for the blooded. There's some people who are asking max caps. So it's like a commodity that if you're not really wanting to go through all of the trials of trying to get the mods that you want, you can pay for them. And there's people out there who are just buying up because, again, caps are pretty easy to come by, especially if you have something that sells very well. Um, so people are, I'll get that. Um, so people are actually going to camps. The camps are buying these weapons and they're scrapping them um, to see if they can get that mod, especially if they have a really good RNG. If they're having really good luck, more power to them. If they're having good RNG, I have horrible RNG on this game sometimes. I have scrapped so many weapons that it is not funny, and I haven't the ability to really learn or earn any mods. Um, I think I've gotten 2 mods, but I haven't got any plans to create anything. So people, I think when it first came out, people were like scrapping whatever they had in their box. So we kept, I kept a couple of legendaries in not my vendor, but my scrap box. So, and I went through to scrap them, and I didn't get really anything. Just 2 mods, and one of them is pretty useless for the most part. And then the other one it could be useful depending on what you're building, but it's nothing that I would go out of my way for. So I was scrapping those weapons, only got 2 mods out of a bunch of weapons that I scrapped, and you have other people who have scrapped just like 10 weapons and they've got like plans for 3 mods, and it's just like, what the heck? What the heck? Not fair, not fair at all. But I know life's not fair. That's not how it goes. Um, and here's my other camp. This one has no vendors, so people cannot buy anything from here. And I did submit this to Best Build as well. So I'm gonna check and see how this camp has been doing. This one had, the last time I checked, didn't have many. Yeah, it only had 4. So this one's not getting um, a lot of attention, which is unfortunate because it's a really, like, I thought it turned out really good. It's got my little weird fish tank there, and I like the way Kitty, because that's my nickname. It's Kitten. And then like I love the bedroom area. Like this bedroom area turned out to be like really cozy and warm. So I did put pictures of these. So it's just unfortunate that it hasn't gotten a lot. And I like this because it's got the outdoor shower. And come from swimming, it's got the steps like right down into the pond. And I thought the pond was it's pretty clear, pretty irradiated. But yeah, I thought it would be like a good thing. And you got the little butterfly sanctuary and your bug lights. This is the room where my shops are. I always like decorate underneath the tables to give that feel that it's like lived in. And then my workshops are out here. So um, so what we could do, I'm gonna go ahead and scrap the junk I've got. Don't really need it. And then I've got these here. This right here is really interesting, and +3 to strength. I've never seen that on a weapon. So I'm actually going to scrap this and see what I can get. I'm probably not going to get much, but yeah, scrap legendary. true automatic barrels, like the only thing we'll scrap that too. Let's scrap that. Let's see if we have anything else. Nothing else. I could scrap everything else, the stuff that I use. Um, I don't know how I got that. I'm gonna go ahead and scrap this because I don't really need it. Steady. See, that's something that I unlocked. Um, I don't think I've got anything in my scrap box or my stash box that I really need to. Uh, I've got 2 unyielding. I've got a bunch of the stuff on these power armor chassis that I could get. Like, I could make more caps probably just by selling a lot of this stuff that I have versus scrapping it. Because if I scrap it, I'm probably not gonna get a whole lot of things back. Like this one right here is a 2-shot. It's an explosive. It's 2-shot, 1525, and that's actually a really good roll. If I scrap that, I probably will lose everything. And that's all I've got. All the other weapons that I have are on another friend's account because he has a mule, and we usually go back and forth. He's got quite a few of my really good rolls, so I guess I could do that one. I'll scrap the Crusader pistol because I'm not really one for pistols. So we'll see if I get anything. Nothing. And you can go to your craft bench here and see if there's any. Yeah, I can craft the steady. That's the only one I can craft. Let's see if I get any mods. And no mods on my person. So it's quite sad actually. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That is a little disappointing. But you know it is what it is, I guess. I don't have much of anything else. I don't have any legendary modules and script. So it's been really slow going for me on Fallout lately because of that. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and put my other a small frog. I have another camp, this one right here. I will activate it and do a quick tour. I absolutely love this camp, and this one doesn't really. A lot of people have come. I've had a couple of people make fun of me for it, but you know it is what it is. People, they're gonna say and do things that you know that they think is right. It's fine. I don't um, I don't attack people for what they put on here. Because I've seen a lot of camps that are like political and that attack certain races and stuff, and I never, even though I don't agree with it. Oh, look at that! It's a red storm. Even though I don't agree with it, I don't ever, you know, go on the mic or say things or anything. But with this camp, I get some backlash for it because I guess when it relates to faith, a lot of people just can't accept that there's people out there who do put faith in God and Jesus, and um, it's our way. And I like this way here. I've got the I tried to make it where I didn't have this thing floating, but I couldn't. I was gonna put another foundation underneath. It didn't work, but I got this. I thought this looked really cool. Let me go into photo mode and see if I can go up. No, it's not gonna let me. Um, there we go. Get closer. I really liked how this turned out, and with the roofs being golden and ornate, but I loved how the crossing made it out of cedar wood, and then I put there's some vertebrates going across, and I made it glass with I tried to make it decorative. I'm not really that great at building, but I did like how it turned out. It's This right here, I've got the decorative water pitchers. It collects just like rainwater. Um, and then the planters here and the canoe. This is the seating area, so this would be like where people would be like out gathering around talking. And this right here, I just made as the like camp area. So the pastor, the caretaker of the church, would live in this tent. He lives modestly, and he's got his little shop here. And then this is his tent. He's got his work benches, his personal belongings. He lays in a hammock. And it's just like, it's homely and nice. And there's a lantern up there. And he upkeeps the church. And all of the funds go to the church and to the congregation. Um, so he doesn't live a lavish lifestyle, or she, or whoever the pastor is, caretaker is. And then inside the church, we have the seating here, and I've got like a trunk on the back there for um, just supplies and stuff, and just some modest decorations, some candles to light. Um, and it's Appalachia, so I got in some of the flowers that are here made out of like the rims and stuff. The metal workers, they do a really good jobs at that. And then just some decorations, and then an ornate ceiling here, and of course the God is Love up top, welcoming everybody, and the Appalachia State bird rug. But I thought it turned out really good. It's not. Um, oh, it's that. Okay. It's not a perfect like decorative church. It's not lavish. It's just um, just a church to come in and show your love of God and Jesus, and to share that love with other people, and to enjoy the beauty, because I like um, the surrounding. Let me turn the depth of field off so you can see better and get rid of the HUD. Like I picked this spot because you can look around and you just see the beauty of Appalachia, and I like to do that in real life. Just look around at the beauty of our Creator and who created for us. It is just breathtakingly beautiful, and you get the sunrises and the sunsets, and you're just on this hill overlooking. This is Morgantown, I believe. Um, and you have the trees. It's just absolutely beautiful. You can see the rainstorm off in the distance. So that's kind of like why I picked this spot here. It's just the location I thought was fitting. Was fitting. Anyway, I'll get out of that. Um, This is like one of my favorite builds. It's not overly. I think I have build budget. Let's get into the build budget. I think I do have build budget. Yeah, see, I've got almost half build budget, so I could continuously, add to it if I wanted to. But right now, I think I'm gonna leave it um, pretty modest and just, a small church that people can go to in the midst of this um, post-apocalyptic world and give thanks to our Creator, to our Father, for everything that we do have, and to be alive in this type of era is just like currently right now, excuse me, where we have all these wars going on and we have, it's pretty much unrest, every part of the world, especially here in the US. We have hurricanes hitting Florida back to back now. We just had Hurricane Helene, and we have had no government assistance whatsoever. FEMA said that they ran out of money. They were only able to give them $750 to people who were affected. To be honest, $750 isn't going to do anything because these people are displaced, and knowing the world that we're in today, there's not going to be a whole lot of people willing to provide services and stuff and goods for free. So, and it's really unfair to ask them of that. There's, of course, there's people out there doing it, but they can't keep it up. They have to have some form of living themselves so they can keep providing. And we have our government who is providing people who are here, um, and I'll say illegally, crossing our borders and flooding, and they're giving them all this money, and we're the only country um, that can really justify doing that, and it makes no sense. Other countries have really strict border, to be a citizen or to come across the border, you have to have everything in order. But we're like opening the border, saying, okay, just come in and we'll give you. And you have people who have done it, and you go on Facebook and you'll see a lot of these people who've come here the right way, they jump through all the hoops. They came here to be legal U.S. citizens, and they are just outraged because it's like a slap in the face to them. We're saying that, or our government is saying that, yeah, you came in the right way, so now you have to work and pay taxes and not get any support whatsoever. Well, these people who are breaking the law are going to be given, X amount of money a month. They're going to give free housing, or reduced housing, free medical care. Where all the people and our veterans, the people who have sacrificed their life for our freedoms, um, they have gone over and fought wars that they didn't have to. Um, they did it because they love their country, and we don't even take care of them when they come back. We don't show them thanks. Many of them are homeless. The VA is just, it's overwhelming. I was in insurance, and I hear all these stories about people who either have VA or um, know someone close by, and you hear all these horror stories about the waiting period, and then people want like the government involved in our healthcare. And if you look at places like Canada, you have people like, oh yeah, this is perfect. But those are usually the people who don't have things that happen to them just yet. They haven't had that one thing that they need to have done immediately, but can't because of the wait list. They haven't had that happen to them yet. And I stress the yet. The people who usually are for that type of service, like let's say like the one world government, so to speak, um, not the good one world government, but the bad, where the government controls everything. You have two different versions. You have a one world government where it's for the people, and then you have a one world government where it is for those in power. Um, Only they matter, and everybody else does not matter. Everybody else is a slave to the system. Everybody else is just a pawn, and a tool, and is, I will say this, we are disposable. So there's two different versions. You have one that is led by God, you have one that is led by man. The one led by God, if we get to that point, um, it would just be calm. People would be getting along. We won't have wars. Um, we would actually be a world living under God and following, Jesus, following the Word of God. We would all be in unity. And then the other world war, one world government, which is what dictatorship wants. They want to be in control. They want to dictate how everybody lives their life, how everybody is doing, what they're supposed to be doing to give them more money. So it's going to be lots of taxing, lots of wars, because they're going to want people to submit to them, and there's going to be resistance. And so there's going to be war, and there's going to be unrest, and um, this fight that's going on, a lot of people are going to be like, it's not my business, it doesn't affect me, I'm not going to do anything about it. And they don't foresee, they just look at the now, and they're not trying to think of what the future is going to be and how it is going to affect them. That's the same thing when people go talk about healthcare, for example. I've gotten to be on both sides of the fence, to see both sides, because I used to work in healthcare, the insurance. So I got to see that part. And I used to work in the healthcare spectrum as well. So I get to be around that as well. So I get to see both sides of the fence. And it's not good when we put power into government and we're saying, okay, here's what you get to be in control. It'll be quote unquote free, but we'll be taxed above and beyond what you can imagine. And then the doctors, they're not going to be paid as much as they should, but you're going to have people who are going to kind of corner the market. So there's going to be a lot of hospitals going out of business. There's going to be a lot of clinics going out of business, and they're going to be just a few and far between. So that way that the government can just continue paying what they want to pay, and then these are going to be the doctors who are going to be forced in these positions. So at that point, you're going to start seeing more people, you're going to see more people kind of waiting for services. And this is where you're going to see people be like, oh, we're all for it because it's free. They hear free and that's it. They don't question anything else. They don't question how it's free. They don't question anything. And then you have the people who have all of these things that have had happened to them, such as cancer diagnosis, immediate surgery, something that happened with their body, organs failing, etc., etc., etc. These people, they know that if this happens, that one of two things are going to happen. They're going to have to either go to a doctor that's not a part of this, that somehow is still going, but paying an astronomical amount because they're going out of the country for it. Or two, they're going to be sitting there waiting, waiting, and waiting, and potentially not receiving the care that they need, and they're going to perish. So a lot of people are going to be like, how are you even going to be able to tell this? It's easy. Go to countries who have the system already in place, and you'll see people are going to be for it, and those people, they haven't had anything that made them wait. The only thing that they've had to wait for is their, routine stuff. And that they don't matter. It doesn't matter. It's routine. But you have people who have ongoing medical issues. You talk to these people, and they'll be like, yeah, I've been waiting for, I have to wait 18 months before I can be seen for this. 18 months. And they have to be treated based on, communication. And even those phone calls aren't getting returned as often as they should because this doctor offices or the hospital it's too understaffed. And it's just too overwhelming. And so I definitely think that people need to take a step back, put your feelings aside, because when you go into things with emotion, that tends to cloudy the judgment that you need to make. So put your emotions aside. Um, Emotions have no place when you're voting. It has no place when you're making a decision that is long term, because emotions can get you in trouble. Emotions, if you haven't been in a place where you get like your emotions flood, I have. Um, for one, and my emotions got me in trouble. It's like I look back and I'm like, I should not have reacted that way. I should have stopped, took a breath, took my emotions out of the picture, and made a decision that was going to be actually good for me, and not something that was rash. So with this, I definitely think you should take emotions out for sure. Just take emotions out of it. Think logically. Pray before you make any decisions because if you do vote with your emotions because of how someone made you feel, um, that's going to come back and it is going to bite you in the butt. Um, I'm just taking my experiences and what I've seen others go through, learning from experience, learning from others' experience, and that's kind of like where um, it kind of it leads me to where I am right now. Because at one point in time, several years ago, when Trump was first running for presidency, when I first heard that, I was like, I'm not voting for him. No, he says things, he does, he's like, I let my emotions get through. But as soon as I took my emotions out and I started actually looking into things logically, and from a different standpoint, it made sense that he would be um, the best for our country. Um, the person he is irrelevant to, or the person he was, I should say, is irrelevant um, to who he is now. And that is something that I kept getting hung up on. Like I kept thinking about the things that he did, and I was forgetting key parts in the Bible. Where it says that Jesus, excuse me, goes towards people who, excuse me again, he goes to people who aren't perfect. He's going to people who've been in that darkness, and he likes to pull them out. And then it is, you know, we see that rise. And I see that with Trump, and a lot of people are like, oh, how could you say that? How could you, agree with the things that he's done in the past? And I'm like, yeah, he's done that in the past, but that's not exactly who he is today. How are we able to judge when we ourselves have done things in the past that we're not proud of? And we ask people not to judge us based on that past, but we do it to other people, especially to other people in positions like running for presidency. He did things 30 years ago. 30 years ago, yes, 30 years ago that is completely irrelevant to today because he's changed his mind. Um, oh, good. I was worried that it was going to be at my camp. um,
Attention citizens,
and
a nuclear strike
it's just,
imminent.
it hurts me to see
Please
people
exit the area
do that
before it
wishy-washiness.
escalates.
It's like you expect it for yourself, but you can't give it to
Prepare
anybody
for
else.
operation.
And that is not how it works. It's not how it works whatsoever. When Jesus comes and speaks to someone, and a lot of people are like, oh, how do you know he did? Well, think of it logically. Take your emotion out of it. Think of it logically. You have somebody who already has his fortune. He already has his fortune. The last term, he didn't even take a paycheck. He gave all that money back to the people. So that is out of it. Tis the Democrats, like the Democrats today, like Harris and them, they're saying that he wants more power and more money. But I'm like, how can he make money when he is not taking a paycheck? He's not taking a paycheck. He is losing. He is spending his time not getting paid for it. He's giving that back to the people. And power. How has he got power? Every time he tried to pass something that would be beneficial for us, like securing the border, they were opposing him. At every step, they were opposing him. So how is it that he wanted power? He didn't have power. And then a lot of people were saying that the Foxy guy, why didn't he fire him? Well, Trump couldn't fire him. He didn't have the authority to fire him. He wanted to so badly, but he didn't have the authority. That is not his jurisdiction. Yes, he's the president, but the president can't do everything. He doesn't have the authority to just do things. He can't just like snap his fingers and that's done. Snap his fingers and that's done. He has to go through other people. And those people are what stops him from doing some of the things he wants to do for our country. If you go back into his last term that he served, you'll start actually putting the work into researching the things he wanted to do and the things that the other side wanted. to stop him from doing. And it's like, okay, that doesn't make sense. Another thing that I'll get onto, and I don't like really talking about politics, but this is coming to mind because I'm just seeing a lot of misinformation out there, is Project 2025. I have actually read it, and the things that they're saying, with like the Harris campaigns, are completely incorrect. They're incorrect. They're either outright lies, which I am finding extremely hard to understand on why that's allowed, or two, twisted truths. And when I say twisted truth, that is taking something that was said and completely putting that out of context. They're putting it into another, they're like taking a sentence that was said on, something else. It was a completely different debate, a completely different topic, and they're applying that sentence to a topic that was not discussed. So, um, and Project 2025 is something that they're saying is Trump's. It's not. It is not Trump. He does back it. He supports the idea, because if you read through, there's a lot of things that puts power back into the people, and I honestly think that the Democrats do not want that. They want the power themselves. When he says that he wants to abolish abortion, that's only abortions where there's no medical necessity, and I offer one agreement to that. I had one, but it wasn't out of non-necessity. It was because it was life or death, and I had to make that decision, to either risk my life and my baby's life, or to play it safe, because the doctor, and then they gave me the percentage of my survival rate, and it was not great, and I had to make this within it. It was less than 24-hour decision, and there are women out there who are into this position where it's like, I have to make this decision, and I don't want to. The best decision is me keeping my child. This is what I want. I want to keep the child, and I want to keep my life. But that's impossibility when something comes up like that. But then you have women who out there who are getting pregnant, and instead of facing that consequence, that this is what happens when you do that, when you don't, um, utilize self control, and they just want to end that life. There's no medical necessity. The baby's healthy, she's healthy, nothing can happen. There's nothing warranting, the abortion. Now, that is where they want to abolish abortion. They want to abolish abortion that's not medically necessary. So, yes, and things do happen. I do think that when it comes to incest and rape, those would be covered under it. But I urge you, I didn't read that much into it. Um, I would urge you to read. Don't just take their words for it, because they're saying that they're abolishing it completely. And that's not true. Not true whatsoever. It's just under certain circumstances, like if it's a healthy mother, healthy baby, and it was a consequence of, oops, I slept with someone I shouldn't have, and I don't want it. That's something that you should think about doing, think about before actually doing the act. Um, and then another thing is where he says that, the educational system, Department of Education, what he wants to do is take government out, because government right now is got too much control. And he wants to take that out of the hands and put it in the hands of that small, the city, the local government. So that way, that the people who actually have kids in school, can determine based on voting on how the curriculum is going to go, on how their kids are taught, and not someone who's in Washington who doesn't have a kid in school because they send their kids to private schools. They don't know how public school works because they haven't been in that situation. Um, they just think of, okay, this is what these people want, and they pick a few, over the masses, and they should be taking the masses over the few when it comes to how our kids are being taught. So that's what he wants to do. He wants to take government control away from that, so that way that the funding is actually going to the local schools, and that the parents actually have an idea and a way to say, okay, this is what we're voting on. This is how we want our kids taught. And honestly, if you would take the curriculums that they're doing right now, I'm pretty sure that 95% of the parents would be in disagreement, because the government only listens to that 5%. Because the 5% are the wealthy, the 5% are the people who actually have things that they can say, hey, 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 this is what we want, because our votes matter more than these people, you know. So we would be able to actually have people that matter, that actually have the kids in school, and they would be able to make votes locally on how their kids are going to be taught and how the funds are going to be allocated for that school, not the government. So I think government is definitely out of healthcare. They don't need any part of how we take care of ourselves. Um, the government shouldn't have a say on what what doctors we go to. They shouldn't have a say on um, you know who gets healthcare and who doesn't. They need to be removed out of completely. It's not their part. And then out of the schools, it should be something local for the families to determine. The people actually have kids in school so they can vote and be a part of their kids' education and how the money is spent because that's their tax money. Um, so those are a couple other things. And another thing that was talked about is that he wanted to take power. That is silly. That is completely silly. Yes, he wants to take power. He wants to take power back for us. He wants to give us more power. And when you read it, that is going to diminish the power of Washington over us. And if you think about it, the Democrats are saying that's bad. It is bad for them. It is wonderful for the people because we're taking back our rights again. And when you think about it, the Democrats, and I will say like Kamala and Biden, they're all for control. Like they want to be able to tell us what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Um, and if people can't really see that because there's a lot of people out in this world and you have to really open your eyes that a lot of the voters who are voting for these people, they want that. They don't want to think for themselves. They're done. That's who they that those of us who are awake call it NPCs of the world. Like they want someone to hold their hand and coddle them, give them a safe space. They don't want to do anything that they feel they shouldn't have to do. Like they shouldn't have to think. They want people to hold their hands. They want to be told how to do it, when to do it, what time. They want that. They want to be censored because they don't want their feelings hurt. They want all of this because it's what's comfortable to them. And they don't care about what everybody else wants. Only their comfort matters. So we have to really wake up as a collective and see that we have to do our own research on every candidate. We have to take feelings out, take emotions out, think logically, and think smart, and think long term. Um, and it's the same thing with faith. A lot of people think that, I've got everything I need right now. I don't need to praise what they call is fiction. He's not real. Um, they think that he's just some man sitting in the sky, and that we get mocked often. Um, and I get called names, get called crazy. People still judge me for my past. They think that all this is for clout. I'm like, what clout? I don't have a following. I don't have many of my friends anymore. A lot of my family have fallen away from me. I didn't gain anything from turning to God. I lost a lot um, from my faith. So when people say, "Oh, you're doing this just for clout," I'm like, "Show me where that is. Show me where that is." The only reason I turned to God and turned to Jesus was for my soul, was for me, nobody else. I don't care if anyone thinks anything of me. That's their they want to judge, let them judge. They have no right to judge, but let them. They will find out in the end. Um, of their wrongs. So we have to remove ourselves and not worry about what other people think. It's the same with our faith. When you go to God and Jesus, you're going to have people fall away. And we have to be able to disconnect because the worldly things, our worldliness, our bodies, our flesh is temporary. It is temporary. Um, Everything that we have on this earth is temporary, but everything that everything that we sow in our soul and in heaven, that carries with us. It's eternal. It is eternal. So if we're sowing bad seeds here on earth in our soul, if we're being mean, if we're being deceptive, if we're being um, cruel, etc., to people, and we're sowing those bad seeds, well, how are you thinking it's going to happen when you pass away or when he comes back and you're judged? You're not going to have a very good life in heaven because you're not going to be there. Um, so when I'm talking about things, it is best for everyone to like step back from the worldliness. Um, because honestly, I used to think that having a nice house, having a nice car, having people like in awe of you and showing them that, yeah, this I'm making it, and here's the. I used to think that all that was important, but then several months ago, on a day that I wasn't even, like I was getting closer to faith, like again, but something happened, and after that day, everything has just been clear. Like I'm able to see things and discern things that I didn't previously think was even possible. I didn't think of, our government as being these tyrants, and they really are. I thought as Trump is someone who is, um, not for us, but the more and more I see this man put his life on the line for us, the more and more I'm able to say, I think he is following. Something is pulling him to this. He's being led by something more than just himself. Because what person is going to put themselves in that position to be a target over and over and over again? They've tried to put him in jail. They've tried to muddy his name. They've tried to drag him through. They've dragged him through the mud. Um, they've tried to kill him twice. Um, somebody is fighting to keep him away, and they're doing everything in their power to to make sure that he doesn't succeed. But he keeps going. And in the Bible, when you look at some of the people that God chose, they were put under the same scrutiny. They were mocked, they were beaten. Um, People tried to tell lies about them, and they still kept going. It wasn't for any other reason other than to be obedient to God. And that's the only way I can think of when I see Trump on his journey. Is that at one point he was that lowly man who made all those mistakes. But at some point, something turned around and he found faith again. And he's being led by a higher power to do something. And he's being obedient. He could have turned around at any point. That very first gunshot that just missed, got his ear. He could have said, okay, I'm out. This is too much. It's too risky. I'm putting my life on the line for what? For what? These people, they don't They don't even want me here. And why should I continue to put my life on the line? And you think of it, put him in what Jesus did. Jesus was being mocked, he was being abused, he was being all of these things. And he still kept persevering. And he died for our sins. People that didn't even, the people who actually put him to death, he died for their sins. Um, so we have to start thinking about things outside of the box. We can't just see, what they want us to see. We have to stop believing everything that they put into your ear because it's not true. There's the things that they do put out that are true. People are saying, "Oh, it's not. It can't be possible. They would never do that to us." And then the things that they're putting out that are lies are the things that, "Oh, yeah, that's great." We've got it really turned around, and it's sad. It's sad that they put a lot of these things out in public of the things that they're going to do, the plan for us, the things that they want to happen. Like, that's out in the open. And we are just letting it happen. And we're focusing on things that just don't matter. Um, so just please, if you're hearing this, think for yourself. Take emotion out of the decision. Um, Emotion, it is not something that could lead you to a good decision, because emotion, it muddies the vision, it muddies the water, and you need a clear head when making decisions. And that goes for not only voting, but it goes for your faith. Don't go based on emotion because of what other people are telling you. Read the Bible for yourself and make that determination. I'm not forcing anyone, but I am letting you know that He is there. He's on that other side of the door. He is knocking, and all He wants you to do is open that door and let Him in. And that's all I can. That's all I can. That's all I can really say is that He is there. He's waiting for you. And we need to take that emotion out of it. That what other people think of you, what other people say, you might lose some close friends. But if you think about it, is it worth losing your soul, or is it worth losing a couple of friends who really weren't your friends to begin with? Because people who are your closest friends, they're going to love you no matter what. They're not going to judge you based on your beliefs. They're going to love you no matter what. And the people who love me right now, the people who are still here for me, they let me ramble on, just like I'm doing right now in this live. They let me ramble on about God. They let me ramble on about Jesus. They let me ramble on about things that I've read in the Bible, about things that are like a light bulb going off. And they just let me ramble on. And they still love me at the end of the day. They go into those discussions with me with an open mind and an open heart. Some of the things that I say they may not agree with, but they still love me, and they are still supportive of me and my decisions on my faith and my journey, my walk with Christ. The people who fall away, they are too caught up on what other people are going to think. And it hurt me at first. It did. It was like, you're embarrassed by me. And I was like, but I thought you cared. I thought that you would be there no matter what. And it was just a awakening moment. I was called annoying by my own dad, um, because I was, sharing the word of God. And at that time, I had before I heard those words, I was like stressing over like wanting them to go with me, and I want them to go in the rapture. I want them to be with Jesus, and I wanted them to stop the things that they were doing that were destructive behaviors. But so I got this overwhelming message from God. It's like this overwhelming pull. Call your dad. Call your dad. And I called, and I was just like asking how everybody was. I wasn't talking about Jesus or anything. I just was like, hey, how's everyone doing? And then the next thing that came out of his mouth is like, why are you sending me this stuff? You're annoying. It's annoying. And I just I I paused, and I could just feel the tears just welling up, just like they are now. The tears just welling up in the pit of my stomach. It just sank. And then I let that go. I let those feelings go. I prayed for a second, and the only thing in my mind was like, okay, I understand now. And then I carried on, and I said, I was sorry, and I wouldn't do that again. And I told him that I just wanted to share how much I loved you guys, and I wanted to share the word of God with you, and just let you know that I'm always thinking of you and always, praying for you. Um, and I told him I wouldn't do that again. I won't bother them anymore. And I told him I'll just let you guys, I'll let you guys do your journey, and I understand I understand now. And at that point, I was like so heartbroken. After I said those words, I was like, okay, I hope everyone was doing okay, and um, I guess I better just get going now. And I'm uh, going to tell everyone I love them, and I just let them go. So it was. I honestly think that was God saying, okay, I'm going to show you that you can't do this for everybody. You can't fix it. And that's how I usually was. I used to be a fixer for people, and a lot of people took advantage of that. And I think this is God saying you have to let that part of you go. You can't save everybody. This is something where you can warn them, but you can't force them to accept it. This is something that they have to do. They have to open that door themselves. They have to open their hearts. So I I did. I took that and I ran with it, and I do that now. I will, give people the word of God, and I'll give them the message that I get. But I accepted the fact that I know not everyone is going to open that door, and that is not my burden. Mine is to let people know that He is there. Let them know He's waiting. Let them know that, hey, you're not too far gone. You're you can be saved. You can repent. You can ask for forgiveness. Just as you can forgive others, He is going to forgive you. But I can't walk them through that door. I can't open that door for them. They have to do it themselves. So, um, I'll probably end this now because I've been just standing here, and I apologize for those of you who are watching, and you're probably a little um, bored, and that's not my intention. But I do want to end this with what I was saying. Again, take your emotions out of it. Don't worry about what other people think of you or say about you. When you're walking with Christ, people are going to start seeing that light, and that makes them uncomfortable. It has nothing to do with you. That is the demons that they're fighting. And you can help them as much as you can, but don't lower yourself back down in that darkness just for them. Because we can't save everybody, but we can present the word to everybody. And the ones that do want that connection with Jesus, they will let us know. They will come to us, and we can just be there with open arms, welcome them, be that beacon of light, leading them to Jesus, you know. And don't get disheartened. Um, you know, if people make fun of you, if they mock you, just pray for them, that they see the light before it's too late. Um, any of your enemies, the people who may push you down, pray for them. Don't stoop down to their level. We must love thy enemy, love thy brother, love thy neighbor. Um, we have to be the, we have to be, um, that word is coming to mind. It's on the tip of my tongue. Example. We have to be that example, you know, that it doesn't matter what comes at us, that Jesus and God are still there, and they're going to pick us up. No matter how many times we fall down, we still get up, and they're still there holding our hand and making everything better. It may not look like it, from one standpoint, but we know, and we can show other people that, yeah, I had cancer, and it pulled me down to the depths of darkness, the pits of hell. It felt like I was going through hell every day with my chemo. It felt like with my treatments I was just being tortured, but I held my faith and I got through it. Jesus and God got me through it. And that's what our testimony is. And we just have to be that example. And then the people who are watching, the people who are listening, we'll see that. We'll start seeing that slowly, and you'll have people coming up to you, and um, we just have to take those people. Those are the people on the fence, those lukewarm, and we just have to be there to embrace them when they come to us and help them. But we can't force people who are unwilling to learn, unwilling to listen. We just have to provide them with the word, and say, okay, here it is. He's out that door. You're not too far gone. You're loved by Him. No matter what it is that you're doing, you can stop. You can repent. You can be saved. We just have to provide that to them, and it's up to them to make those steps to open that door. So, those of you who feel discouraged, don't feel discouraged. Just keep in your faith. Don't forget to take time for yourself. You meditate, talk with God. Um, You know, if you do ever fall backwards, pray to Jesus, put that out there, and you know, go to Him, repent for that sin, and just try to do better. We're human. We're gonna fall short. He knows that. He's got this mercy. He's so merciful, and that is the beauty of it. That we are so imperfect, but He accepts us for who we are, and when we repent through Jesus, He doesn't see us as the imperfect things anymore. He sees us as His children, as perfect children through Christ. So, um, yeah, just keep on keeping on. Have faith, and um, when He returns, we'll be able to, uh, you know, walk with Him up in our Father's kingdom. So I look forward to that day. I keep hearing, listening for those trumpets every night. Almost, I feel it like closer and closer. But like every night, it's like I'm just listening for those trumpets. Um, so I'll end it with this. I apologize. I went like a 10 minutes over, even more. Just remember, you are loved, you are wanted, you matter. You are not too far gone. If you're listening to this and you're in the darkness, there's light at the end of that tunnel. I can promise you that. Um, if you want to, you know, if you want to give your life to Jesus, find a church nearby, get baptized, um, pray, read the Bible, uh, just get right with God, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Have a blessed rest of your week. I don't know about my next coming because of the internet being so wonky. I will try, but if you don't hear me going forward, I hope that you have a great rest of your week, and God bless. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share if there's anyone who needs to hear any of this. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks again for watching, and toodles.